So for my essay, my three personal development categories were financial stability for the future, and also mental toughness, and to also find like my future career and really what I want to do. Because right now I have a really vague idea of what I want to do, and I think I really want to narrow it down to a couple of job titles within the year so I have an idea of what that's going to look like. So I spent time thinking about what I would like my retirement party to look like in the future, and it's kind of simple, but I kind of just want to be somebody who is described as a leader, who always looked out for people, who helped them achieve their dreams. And I think people, when they get successful, they're able to help, whether it's networking, financially, just in any way that you can. Like, those are the stories that, would make me really happy, is if there was a lot of people who I helped out along the way in their lives, and I just affected a lot of people and just helped them for the better. Most of the leaders that I admire, all the role models that I have are people who use their success and their job to help people. For example, my boss, he's the head coach at Multnomah University. I played for him for 2 years, and he owns a warehouse called Nuna, and it's a really big company. It does really well. And he constantly hires, the players on the team to come work, and I just think that's super honorable thing to do when he could go out and hire, people who are more experienced, who might be better for the warehouse, but he gets his employees in house, and that's just something really cool and that I admire, because he doesn't have to do that. And that's kind of what I want my retirement party to look like, is whatever my future job looks like or entails, that I use that as a stepping stone to help others, any way that I can in life. Now I'm going to be getting into my reality for each of my developmental areas. So for the first one will be financially, kind of what I see. My reality is just to, over the next year, save as much possible money that I can. I'm in a pretty good situation right now where my housing is paid for, my master's is paid for, and I'm working full time. So I'm in a really good spot. I don't have a lot of expenses, but over the next year, I really want to save up as much as I can. And I have a number in mind. I won't say the number, but I have a number in mind. But yeah, that's definitely my reality, is reaching that number and just working as hard as I can to be in a good spot financially. So that's what my reality looks like over the next year. Next, I'll be going over my other reality for my second development area over the next year, and that is to find my dream job, just my future occupation, really. So right now in this program, I have an idea. I definitely want to do something in the business field. I don't know what that is, and with this degree, you can do like a wide variety of stuff. But after I complete this in April, I'm gonna be, applying to schools and trying to get my PhD in business administration. And that is also like, there's a lot of jobs that you can do in that field. So over the next year, my reality is to narrow down job titles that I see myself wanting to do in the future. I have a lot of time because I won't finish my doctorate for 3 to 4 years, but my reality is to narrow it down so I can kind of figure out, what direction I'm leaning towards. For my last developmental area for what I want reality to look like would be for my mental toughness developmental area. This is somewhat vague, the developmental area, but I think my reality is to just complete everything that I'm committed to, if that makes sense. So school, I want to make sure that I achieve the GPA that I want. For coaching, I want to make sure that I show up every day. I'm giving my best effort. I'm helping these kids as much as I can. And for work, I'm working overtime. I'm doing all those things that I can to, help out with my first developmental area, which is financially. So I think my reality for that is just to hit each benchmark consistently, and, no slip ups. And that's kind of where the mental toughness standpoint, that's all I really want to do, is just be consistent every day on those goals. So next, instead of my reality over the next year, I'm going to be going over what I envision in the future for these developmental areas. So first, financially. Financially in the future, after I get my doctorate, my master's, etc., I want to have enough money saved up to where I can handle just about anything that comes my way, and money is not a problem. So if my car breaks down, if I need to help out a family member, anything that gets thrown my way, I don't have to worry about it. It's just a small bump in the road. And to do that, I think I'm in a good position to where I'll be able to get housing for the next 4 to 5 years. So those expenses will be cut down pretty drastically. And then, so I'll have small expenses. So my future, again, is just to be in a great spot. I can handle anything that comes my way. I can go anywhere I want. I can, just not have to worry about that will be something that I want for myself in the future. Next, I'm going to be going over my career and what I envision my future looking like there. So for the main part, I just want a job that, is obviously that pays well and that I enjoy doing. I don't really know what that future job is going to look like, but I know what it's not going to look like. And what that is just punching the clock in a 9 to 5, not really having any goals. That's if I don't have any goals, that's something with myself I really struggle with. So I need a job that I strive for. That's kind of what I envision for the future. Just something where I can go above and beyond, no matter what it is. It's just something that I can put in effort and get return for that effort. That's kind of what I envision my future job looking like. And then lastly, for what I envision in the future for my developmental area will be mental toughness. And what I envision in the future is there's a lot of people who I admire and who I look up to and who I watch YouTube videos on, and all these people are considered insane a little bit, and that's something that I kind of envision for myself. I enjoy when people, they kind of call you insane. They're crazy, like, how do you have time for this? How do you have time for that? It's really what I want for myself, and I know it's going to take a lot of hard work, a lot of discipline, and there's going to be a lot of days where I don't want to do things, but that's how you become that person, and that's who I'm, striving to be. So just if I can look myself in the mirror and say I worked from this time to this time, no breaks, then I'll be the person who I envision myself being. Through the presentation, I'm going to be going over the 3 commitments in each development area. So the first one being financial freedom, or the financial commitments. So the first one is not eating out. So limiting those, eating at home saves a lot of money, and that's just one commitment I want to make. And then no pointless purchases unless it is an investment in myself. So if it's a book, some fitness stuff like that. And then the last one being not buying anything fancy to impress people. So really separating wants and needs there. Just in this day and age, people buy things just to impress people, and it kind of sets them back in life. So I want to steer clear of that. And then next will be my future job, my commitments to myself. So the first one is to network with as many individuals who have achieved the things that I want as I can. I think by reaching out and making a commitment to reach out to those people, I think I'll put myself in a better position to find that job that I really like. And then also is to achieve a high GPA. 3.90 is what I'm hoping for in my master's, and then also in my doctorate programs. And then lastly, for my mental toughness, one commitment I put is to listen to 1 audiobook a month. I think that'll help, just you gotta exercise your brain as much as possible, and that's gonna build mental toughness. And then lastly is just to make sure that I complete all the tasks that are a priority every single day. I think if I do that, I make that commitment, then I will slowly, day by day, become the person that I want.